Welcome back. You're watching Network Africa here on Channels Television. The Democratic Republic of Congo's economy has grown into one of the fastest in the world over the last 5 years. But the rising number of street children in its capital testifies to the deepening hardship in neglected and volatile inner city neighborhoods.
For many of the children living on the streets of Kinshasa, the capital of Democratic Republic of Congo, survival is a battle against hunger and lack of shelter. Kevin Lusongo started living rough more than 8 years ago when he was kicked out of his uncle's house for lack of space. Like other street children, he works odd jobs, begs and picks through trash to survive. Some resort to petty theft as well. After being rescued from the streets by a social worker, he now spends his days at Ndako Yabiso, a center for street children who were funded by foreign donors, where he receives schooling, food and medical care before returning to the street at night. Despite the challenges he faces, Lusongo still hopes his dream of becoming a famous footballer will become a reality. Lusongo is one of 25,000 street children in DRC's capital, a number that has nearly doubled in 10 years according to 2014 figures from the UN Children's Agency. But aside from Kinshasa's money downtown, most of the city's 11 million people live cramped in neighborhoods where rubbish piles up in alleyways.
Well, back here in Nigeria, Operation Safe Haven, the special task force maintaining law and order in Plateau State, has inaugurated a strike force in Gashishi area of Bakinladi local government area of Plateau State as part of efforts towards maintaining the relative peaceful coexistence among the people. Commander of the operation, Major General Tagbo Ude, said the action is designed to restore confidence among people and shorten the response time to distress calls from the residents.
These soldiers will stay within Gashishi district of Bakinladi local government area of the state to maintain peace in troubled communities.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
This area will serve as a base for the soldiers who will oversee the security of the communities that have been flashpoints of clashes, especially between the indigenes and Fulani herdsmen. According to the operations commander, who has come to interact with the residents, 60 soldiers will be stationed at the base to assist Sector 7 Command.
The idea of a strike force base is to reduce the incidents or completely wipe away incidents of isolated killings along this road, restore sanity and ensure that villagers come back to their home.
People in this local government can now go about the normal businesses freely.
Representatives of the indigenous Beram and the Fulani are confident that the peace effort of the task force has yielded positive results which should be maintained.
We are having a lot of killings and even attack by housing. Farmers have been destroyed. But due to the security that have sent them to our place here, they are able to calm all this situation. And we are just working as brothers and sisters now.
The cup that was donated for peace indicates that peace has returned to Gashishi. Whatever has happened in the past is destined by God. Now you can see the Fulanese playing alongside the Birom in a football match and the parents cheering them on. We hope this relationship is sustainable.
The Operation Safe Haven Strike Force is under the command of Lieutenant Bright Okoronkwo, with 60 other soldiers shouldered with the responsibility of maintaining law and order within that area, as well as responding to distress calls promptly.
Well, it's time for Africa Tech Friday, and the internet is our focus today, how it's helping women entrepreneurs make a living and provide online solutions and services. With the tremendous opportunities globally for governments, corporations and communities to bridge the gender gap as they lay the infrastructure for the next boom, the female perspective is becoming a critical formation for a new trend of technology. I have with me here on the program Nike Adedokun, a female online entrepreneur. She talks about how the internet is a vital tool for her business. Nike, thank you for joining us on Network Africa. Really appreciate your being here. Now, you're already charting through what is known as male-dominated areas. I mean, tell us more about that.
Yeah, the experience has been cool. It has been very phenomenal because in the beginning we thought it was just men that can just do different things, but for the females it's been coming a bit better because now we are getting exposed to how to learn different things, and using the internet is very, very transforming because you get to meet a whole lot of people. You get to connect all through the world. You know, I get to connect with people that are in USA, in different part of the country. I think the experience has just been life-changing for me.
You know, it's a bit shocking when you find out that when you find out how small a percentage of people actually do have access to the internet. I'm talking about people in rural areas, women in rural areas who also have businesses that they want to make known and so on. Tell us how the internet can help them and how you can also help to reach out to these women.
Okay, the first thing is, if you're not online, your business is either packing up soon. Okay, so the truth is, most people are always scared of the online world because they feel it's kind of difficult, but I don't think it is. The first thing they need to understand is, as long as there's a connection, then there is definitely going to be a platform. I think the first thing to do is the telecommunication company has to come down to these rural areas and make sure that they have stable connections, because even when I go to some states and the connections are bad, it's always frustrating. So when we are able to get a very good connection base, then we can do some form of trainings. We can just teach them the little part of it. A lot of people think techie world is something so spectacular, but I think it's just knowing your little things. And then thank God for YouTube videos. You get to do a lot of things and watch a lot of how to do this, how to do that. So sometimes you don't even need to pay someone to teach you something. I just go out there to Google and how do I do this? I just see the video, and before you know it, I'm out there. So I think if we're able to give them the platform, the telecommunication network, and also train them and give them some, devices that can really help them with this, and understanding how their businesses can also be online. So for instance, we have some platforms that are very good for Instagram. We have some platforms that they're just okay with Twitter, you understand? So you need to be able to understand how your business can really function in different platforms. It's very necessary.
Well, it seems like, the internet is beginning to replace traditional forms of learning. The normal, you're being in a classroom, you have a facilitator or a teacher or a trainer in front of you. Which one do you think is best? Do we combine both? Traditional system of learning?
I think it's good to combine both, but sometimes when you try to organize a live program, most people complain of distance. Most people complain of time. They're always busy. So most of the time when you're hosting a program in Lagos, you see the people in South and other things like, you guys are cheating us. Is it like we don't have six? Every now and then it's either Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt and stuff like that. So I think the internet has been able to bring people together from different parts of the world.
Have you made more money since you started using the internet to improve your business?
Definitely.
Okay. Then how can we get more involved, more women, involved with using the internet? I mean, a lot of women are, people who are married, women who are married tend to be more private, and they tend to, the fear is that if you have to put your stuff out there, it means that you become a target, you become well known. When people know you, then you really can't hide things about your life anymore and stuff like that, if you really want to be out there and make money.
Well, I think when it comes to using the online platform, you really don't have to be too private. I guess some people can be so unrealistic about how they use the internet. But if you have a business and you want to be online, all you need to do is to learn how to connect with your customers emotionally. And that's why it's good for women, because we have a way of, our emotional beings, we have a way of connecting. You bring the parts that your customers can really listen to and really understand. And in this way, you're able to combine your normal offline business and you bring in the online business platform together. It's going to help you. And when it comes to the married women and the likes, well, the first thing is, because sometimes when people say how to use the internet, they think it's something very difficult. So I think people should be more open to knowledge. And I will not even tell you, okay, go for a training program, go and pay 20K, go and pay this and that. I won't tell you to do that because you might not be able to afford it. But if you can, fine. But I think you should make use of Google. And if, for instance, if you have a particular kind of business, maybe you're selling baby toys or baby wares, go to the internet. How can I use the internet to sell this? You understand? Put your pictures and teach people how to use it, how to get it, why they should trust you, show testimonials, show feedbacks. All these things make your customers begin to trust you.
Yeah, but has female presence online, has female presence online actually boosted, businesses, having more women on the internet showcasing, their advertising their and talking about their businesses and so on? Has the female presence online sort of changed, the perspective on business in a male-dominated world?
It has, because now we have a lot of entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs on the rise, and it's beginning to challenge the male, because they felt, okay, it's a man's world, and now they're seeing a lot of females out there doing these things. It's inspiring the females. It's also inspiring the male that it's time for them to kick their butts and start doing something. So I think it has really boosted. I've seen a whole lot of female entrepreneurs doing great things. And when I see them, I get inspired. I just want to go learn new things, because you need to keep innovating. If you just remain with what you know, then you're just going to be there.
Nike Adedokun, thank you so much for joining us on Network Africa. We wish you well in your business. I hope that, I
think you should also start doing something about that too.
Oh, well, hopefully soon. Who knows? Thanks again for joining us on the program.
Thank you.
Now to Kogi State. 10 state legislators have held a sitting at the Assembly Complex in Lokoja, the state capital. That's coming several days after the House of Representatives passed its committee's recommendations that Kogi State House of Assembly should not sit until the leadership crisis rocking the House is resolved.
One after the other, the lawmakers came into the hallowed chamber of the Kogi State House of Assembly. They are seen settled for the day's activities, but this sitting is coming after the House of Representatives' resolution seeking an end to the leadership crisis. The factional Speaker, Honorable Ahmed Imam, condemned in strong terms that resolution.
For the House of Representatives to have gone ahead in passing a resolution to take over the House without first fulfilling the constitutional provision of Section 11, subsection 5, is, to say the least, regrettable.
Some of the lawmakers supported his stance, describing the House of Representatives' action as unconstitutional.
The House received with dismay the attempt by the National Assembly and other external factors trying to subject Kogi State House of Assembly to public ignominy.
I'm calling on the House of Representatives to respect the sanctity of the institution as an apex law-making body of the nation that should not be cajoled into making hasty, biased, and politically motivated laws.
The members resolved that the legal representative of the House should file a contempt of court on the leadership of the Speaker of the House of Representatives, the Chairman and Secretary of the ad hoc committee.
This assembly is in session. The assembly met and officially transacted its legislative business at both plenary sitting and at the committee meeting.
The members also held a valedictory session in honor of the late James Acholi, the Minister of State for Labour and Employment. The House later adjourned sitting until Wednesday, the 16th of March.
And that's Network Africa today. Thanks for watching. I am Amarachi Ubani.